Awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Susan Smith, and Susan Frank had asked me to share some things that I've got going on in my business and just some of the things that our team is doing just to make some of that forward movement. So it was definitely a blessing to have had the opportunity to be able to share. So I've been with Partner Co. about 4.5 months now, and it's been an amazing ride all the way through. When I first got started, it was again just like most of us. I saw a post on Facebook, started the drops, and as of today, I am down 45.5 pounds, and is and over 40 different inch over different, but for over 40 inches total, and I just feel so much better. And after about 2 weeks of using the drops, I reached out to my sponsor and I said, okay, I'm not saying I want to sell these things, but if I were, what would that look like? Because I had already been looking for something. I just didn't know what it was. And when she got me on a call with Susan Frank, it wasn't anything specific that Susan said, but it truly was the simplicity of the presentation of the business. I said, okay, this is something I could definitely do. The product I know works, and it's been life changing ever since. And all I've done is set my mindset. I've changed my mindset, really making sure that I understand that I'm a business owner and I've taken ownership of the things that are going to happen in my business. It's real easy to lose sight of the fact sometimes for just $29.95 that it can be hard sometimes to really put that into focus that it truly is a business. And so when you have that mindset and you treat it like that, there's no limit to what you can do. So that's really been the biggest shift for me, is just setting my mindset, making sure I'm treating everything like a business, and learning as much as I can, but really being able to sit back and recognize that the content doesn't really change a lot. So you don't have to get so bogged down in the details. Really, the beauty of this business is being a product of the product and being willing to share it with others, following that system of growth and just getting really good at those basics. And the better that you get at those and the more that you can teach the duplication with that, the more your business is going to grow. Duplication is powerful, both good and bad. So we want to make sure that we're duplicating those things that are going to help our brand partners to be able to find customers and be able to get brand partners themselves, because that's where they're going to make that income. That's where they're going to make that money. And it's not just about making money to make the money, but when we're making that income, that is a representation of lives that we're improving and lives that we're helping. And I think it's just a blessing that we're able to be rewarded for that. One of the most current things that I've done was actually, so I'm a special ed teacher by trade, and I serve my district as a special ed director. And we did a blood screening or a health screening over at the central office. And so when I walked over there, there was a couple of ladies I just hadn't seen in several weeks. And when they saw me, it blew their mind that I had lost as much weight as I had. And they wanted to know what was the magic, what was I doing? And I told them about the drops. And literally when I got done with my screening, came back, the lady wanted to buy a box of drops. And so she's got started on it. So it truly is being a product of the product, believing in what we have, because we have the best of the best. So the more the products that you get to know, the more the products that you get to use, it really is helping others to be able to feel as good as we're feeling with it. That really is as simple as it's been. And where I live, I'm about an hour to an hour and a half from my sponsor and some of my upline, and about 3.5 hours away from Susan Frank. And I didn't want to let my business growth be dependent upon somebody coming to help me. So I was willing to plug into other meetings. I was willing to plug in, what does a drop talk look like? What does a Zoom meeting look like? And I attended them. And the more that I learned, the more I was able to duplicate and do. And then I have my team members that are local, and just really making sure I'm able to identify leaders within my downline that I can really make sure that I can plug in and get them to learn and get them to grow. And then within our regional area, we'll be able to make sure that we're supporting each other, whether it's a downline, crossline, it doesn't matter. So we're building leaders and training leaders up to be able to duplicate the things that Susan Frank and Susan Cameron are showing us. And it is absolutely amazing. So that's really the biggest thing that has happened. Another amazing thing that I hadn't really done lives or anything like that on Facebook. I was never a really big social media person. So the very first post was the hardest. And it was really just that mashing. It wasn't hard getting the post ready, but it was really just hitting post and putting myself out there because that was so not what I did. I was definitely a stalker and not a poster. But I did it anyway. And the more I did it, the easier it's gotten. And now my phone messed up yesterday and I was like freaking out because I couldn't boost my 3 o'clock post. So like people are seeing that and recognizing that now. And it's, that traction is happening and people are wanting to know what we're doing. And one of our newer brand partners, Tiffany Salvaggio, she is a social seller and has a tremendous following with another company that she has built and is very successful at that. So she has been a tremendous help to me stepping out of my comfort zone and being willing to do lives and things. And we did a live on last Thursday. Or one day last week, I can't remember which day it was, but we were able to just kind of share about the presentation, about the business. Didn't go into super, big detail about anything, but was really able to share just overall general, so we could get some people that were interested in it. We could follow back up with them and do the more in-depth presentation with them. But through the course of that and the questions that were being asked, it's evident that people don't have a solid relationship with food and eating. People don't have that mindset. Like they truly are wanting a quick fix and something that's instant gratification. So that is an area that is a passion for me because I know that the system works. The food plan works. The products work. So it's really being able to help others recognize and learn that if they would just follow the system and don't fight against it, don't ask, can I have this? If it's not on the list, no, you can't. If you're wanting to get good results, I mean, we're all adults, we can do what we want to do, but if we're wanting to get those results and be able to improve our health, we need to follow the system. And it truly is a lifestyle that got us here. So it's going to be a lifestyle that's going to allow us to heal and to improve. And so being able to understand that and help others understand some of those blocks in their thinking. And it's not just about the food that we're eating, but it's how we approach food and our relationship with it. So really being able to support customers as they're going through their journey with this and realizing that it truly is a journey. And so it's been a lot of personal growth and not feeling so frustrated with others because it's just simple, just follow this, but really understanding where those roadblocks are coming from. We have a lot of habits around food and, food and the way that we eat is a social aspect. So that can change a lot of things for a lot of people. So it's part of our responsibility on how do we really support our customers that it doesn't have to be a negative thing, that healthy food, eating right, fueling our body can be really good and we can help others along the way. And so those are just some of the things that we've identified down here. And I'm in Goldsboro, North Carolina, that, our team is growing down here. And I know that the things are coming. I'm not even focused on the ranks yet because I know that they're coming. So I'm focusing on the effort and the work that I can do. I don't get frustrated on what the outcomes are because I can't control what other people are doing. But I know what I'm doing and what my team is doing and the things that we're trying to duplicate and move forward. And it is just a matter of time to see the results of our labor. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful and thankful for this team. If you guys have anybody down in this area, Eastern North Carolina, I will be glad to support you however I can because Team Unstoppable is number one for a reason. So we have phenomenal leadership. All we have to know how to build this business is to look to our leadership. It's simple, and that's how Susan Frank and Susan Cameron keep it. We can duplicate what they do. They're real, and this is for us. We can do this. We don't have to make it complicated. Just get out of our way and do the simple basics, and you will grow.
I love it. I love you. You're
I love
amazing.
you.
You're so amazing. We adore you. You're doing amazing, girl. And she's 4 months in. Look at her vision. Do you guys hear that? Her vision, what she does to duplicate, how simple she makes it. And this is about us being a product of a product, the product of the product. And I don't know how many of you guys know this about my story, but at 10 years old, I developed an eating disorder. I was very aware. I was in my first Weight Watchers meeting at 12 with my mom. By the age of 12 or 13, I was full blown bulimic, and I struggled with that for years and years and years. And it was all about this self-hate and self-blame and disgust. And so many women don't know, and this is a whole training for a whole different day. You're using this weight as protection. You're getting a payoff. Maybe it's you don't want to leave a narcissistic marriage. Maybe it's you don't want to be seen. Hey, Audrey. Audrey Love and I, we've worked on this kind of work for years and years and years. So I love, Susan, that you're bringing that out, because just the support and feeling like you have a network, and just like on Healthy You, Healthy Food, you guys, that you can plug your people into, there is a support structure to make people feel empowered and totally transform their life. So I'm going to call now, and then at the end, we'll kind of get to maybe some of the things that me and Susan Frank did early on in my journey with Partner Co to build and build really quickly. I'm going to let Rhonda and Shannon speak. Shannon came through Steph Peffer's business, and she has a beautiful spa. She has 17 employees. This girl is a go-getter. She's completely transformed her life. I think like 20 years ago, when she lost a ton of weight and she got into bodybuilding and all kinds of things. And when I met Shannon, she kept talking about these assessments. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so the two of you guys, however you want to play this, Rhonda, you might want to frame it up and then just kind of feedback on Shannon, or however you guys want to do it. And the point of this, if you, whoever's inclined, at the end of this can take basically a $60 assessment at your cost. And then what we're going to do is on Thursday night at the retreat, anybody that wants to can Zoom in. And Miss Rhonda's going to be leading us in a 2-hour group to talk about how you can really tap into the resources of this assessment and how it can just drastically change your life, change your relationships, change your business, all the things. So Miss Rhonda, I'm going to call on you, hun.
I hear you. Mute. How about now? Yes. Okay, am I echoing?
Just a little bit.
Should I try taking my earbuds off? Because that's what I've got on.
Is it annoying to you? If it's not annoying to you, it's fine with us.
It's not annoying to me.
Okay, we're not annoyed.
Shannon, where's my Shannon at?
Right here. Can you see me?
I can now. So Shannon, hello everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Very excited to be joining you and your team. And Shannon and I have worked together for how many years?
15.
Yeah, probably about that. So I introduced her to this assessment long ago, and she has worked with it, and we have worked together. And really, this becomes an opportunity for you to have a lifelong personal development tool. So that's what I really want to make sure that everyone understands, that this is, how many of you, first of all, how many of you have taken personality tests? And type in the chat box which ones you've taken, because I know you have. And I'm going to tell you that I have taken every single one of them on the market. I even know what kind of mermaid I am, right? Some of them are so crazy. But you know what? This is, okay, a lot of you have taken the DISC or the Enneagram, Myers-Briggs. I'm an ENFP on Myers-Briggs, and I think I'm a 4, I can't remember what I am on Enneagram. So these are amazing assessments. And the issue is most of us don't dig in, right? Shannon has dug into this one. And so have I, obviously, because I'm certified and that kind of thing. And I've been doing this, by the way, since 2008. So it's been a long time. And my family uses this as a language within our family. So my husband can say, you need to leave me alone. My intellection needs time to think. So he'll actually point to the talent, which is like, wow, I need to do something. You know, he needs something here. Yeah, Susan Cameron has posted hers in the chat box, and you guys are very familiar with her activator. So how many of you really would like to learn how to partner with the right people so you can get what you want? Anybody out there? I'm pretty sure that every one of you on the team. Yes, good. But what we're going to do this morning is really focus a bit on you. So have you noticed that busy is the new status symbol. How many times have you talked to a friend and asked what they're doing, and they're like, I'm so busy, so busy. We are busy, 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 busy. But who feels like you're busy going nowhere fast, right? Or you see people out there going nowhere fast. Technology has really enabled us to do a lot of things faster than ever before. We have computers everywhere, in our cars, our home appliances. The internet has become the backbone of our lives. And now we have email and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and dozens of other sites allowing us to communicate 24/7, 365, right? And we search. This is what your potential clients are doing too, by the way. They are surfing the web for hours and hours and hours looking for something meaningful. And at the end of the day, you know what? We all want our lives to mean something. And we want to spend our time doing things that we are good at, right? But do you really know what you're good at? How many of you have no clue what you're really good at? Or, you know what I'm saying? For most of us, life feels like a constant struggle. We move from job to job and program to program and school to school and workshops and seminars and personal development. And does it work? Somewhat, right? But not completely, because that's why we're still searching. We're still spending hours on the internet, or your client is. Anyway, trying to find something that resonates, something that thrills us, something that gives us energy. So the truth is, yes, you and everybody else has particular raw talents that you've been operating with your entire life. You were born with them. They are innate and such a part of you that you don't even recognize them for what they are. You don't even think they're anything special. You're blind to your own natural giftedness. You have moments of total clarity and focus, moments when you're in the zone, right? And time passes and you're just doing so, and you look up and you're like, wow, where did the time go? These are places and spaces where you show glimpses of your own brilliance and you shine with excellence. But guess what? Those experiences are completely unique to you, based on your personal giftedness, your personal talents. What's normal for you is not normal for everyone else. And this is what we can't get. We're like, well, why can't they just do it? Well, they can't. And the secret is understanding how you are, how you operate, and then striving to be the very best version of you. And then for those of you who are building a team, getting shortcuts in order to help the people on your team so that you understand how they operate and how they can do their best, right? So probably won't be any surprise. Certainly Shannon knows I am a people person. So guess what drains me? I know that paperwork drains me. Anything that requires organization or anything that's very detailed or things that require that I pore over and read reports, like balancing my checkbook or filling out important papers or documents, like doing taxes, like anything that requires a high level of accuracy or meticulous attention to detail, just kill me now. I can't do it. But I love getting people fired up about things I'm passionate about. And that's what I'm here to do today, is to help you understand that there is a tool out there that can help you. And I believe that that's what I was born to do. It absolutely thrilled me this morning when our little activator, Susan, texted me and said, can you be on a call in 2 hours? I was like, oh, I heard angels singing, because I get to do this. I get to talk to you and share what I know about this. So this is what I get a charge out of. And when you operate within your natural talents and passions, guess what? Life is easier and you are happier. So how many of you, I'm hoping for those of you who are sitting down and taking notes, because I know that you are good note takers when you come on these calls, I want to do a quick exercise that will require you to have a pen and paper. So can you grab a pen and paper real quick? And I'm going to give you a little exercise. I know some of you are driving, so don't don't try to do this and drive. All right, so everybody ready? We're going to do a real quick exercise. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write your name, sign your name like a signature, like you're going to sign an important paper or you're writing a check. I want you to sign your name 5 times on a piece of paper. Ready? Go. Everybody signing. Let me catch up with the chat here. Okay, so did everybody sign their name 5 times? Or even in your imagination, you can imagine signing your name if you're not physically somewhere, right? So that was pretty easy, right? You didn't have, anybody have problems signing their name other than, you know, where you are? Shannon, you might get spotty. Okay, no worries. Okay. 4 times, Cynthia, you did it. Okay, easy peasy, Wanda, you're absolutely right. Okay, so here we're gonna do something a little bit different. Everybody ready? Yes, I want you now to switch hands to your non-dominant hand, and I want you to sign your name. Go ahead, 5 times, let's go. Am I hearing groans? Yeah, Regina quit. Right. So even if you're not, I know some of you are having a hard time, right? Whoever's on the Samsung says, I can't at all. It looks like Kim had a stroke. Lord, Wanda says, Lordy, not pretty, Pam. That's right. Okay, so listen, this is what happens when you are trying to do something that you're good at, which is like signing your name, your signature. Life is so much more happy and fulfilled. But when you try to do something that is not within your wheelhouse, which is, or not within your area of giftedness, it is unreadable. It's hard. It looks like you are a first grader, right? So everybody understands that when you step outside of doing what you naturally are gifted to do, it doesn't work so well, right? So there are clues. How do you find out what you're good at? Now, a lot of you already know what you're good at. Susan Frank is obviously good at building a network marketing business, right? And same with Susan Cameron and the rest of you who are big builders. So, oh, Cynthia has a long name, right? So anyway, let me just tell you a quick story about a friend of mine. Her name is Nicole, and she went on a lake trip with some friends last summer, and they were docked on a pontoon boat next to some other boats with people who looked like fun, and they wanted to meet them. And one of her girlfriends from the boat party said, hey, go do that thing you do. Just go do that thing you do. And by that, she meant Nicole has a way of wooing total strangers into becoming fast friends. She's an instinctive, intuitive networker, and total strangers become fast friends very, very quickly. That is something she does instinctively. Nobody sat down and taught her how to do that. She didn't write out a plan for how she's going to meet new people and create a new friend. She just does it. In fact, she cannot not. And yes, I am woo. Shannon is telling you that I'm woo. Yes, Cynthia, that is her gift, right? She cannot not do it. You understand? Everybody understand that? That's what it's like when you're living in your gifts. And Nicole just walked right over to the boat next door, and with minutes, they were lakeside buddies sharing an awesome weekend. How many of you have friends like Nicole, or how many of you are like Nicole? Dana, do you have Woo High? Joetta, I have friends. Shannon, you want to tell a story? Let's go ahead. Shannon's going to tell a story real quick about Amy. Go ahead, Shannon.
Okay. So I have a business partner that is, she poo-poos everything. She poo-poos everything. We've been business partners for 18 years. And I was at a point where, I would have all these ideas and I could see, oh my gosh, I could see how well this would work out and all these ideas and this is going to be fabulous. We're building a new business and let's do this and this and this. And she would sit back and go, no, nope, we can't do that. Nope, that's not going to work. Nope, nope, nope. And finally, one day I said, stop telling me no. Stop it. She's making me feel insignificant every time she tells me no. So I take StrengthsFinder. I take several classes with Rhonda because I'm so intrigued by this. And we find out that I, in my top 10, have ideation, futuristic, and my very bottom one. So I would encourage everybody to take the full 34. My very bottom one is strategic. Well, Amy, her number one is strategic. So now, instead of her getting frustrated with me that I can't shut up about ideas and getting frustrated that I feel insignificant, which is my number 11, I think. Now I understand that she is strategic. She's not being a jerk telling me no, no, no all the time. She sees why. She sees the strategy of why this and this and this won't work. And strategic again is my number 34. Like I literally cannot play chess. And so it made now our relationship as business partners. Like I to, throat punch her basically. But now as business partners, we work so well together because I understand her top 10. I get it. And she understands why I can't do certain things. So our respect for each other has completely flipped ever since we did this test.
Yeah, it's really amazing because, I recommend this assessment not just for business, but for your relationships, your marriage, your family. My entire family has this. My daughters will call and go, Mom, I remember walking out of a doctor's appointment once with one of my daughters, and she said, Mom, I'm pretty sure that she has command and deliberative. So, when you really enculturate this assessment, this is what I really want you to understand. This is a tool you will never have to deviate from. It is not at all like a personality test. Yes, your personality is in here, but it's not a personality test. StrengthsFinder is owned by Gallup Corporation. You're familiar with Gallup. They're the ones that say, and the president's poll numbers are blah, blah, blah. They do all the surveying, right? Well, they developed this assessment over 50 years ago. In fact, I think it's close to 60 now by a man named Donald Clifton. And since 2007, over 38 million people have taken this assessment. What it does is identifies 34 behavioral clusters that we all have in common, but each of us is only strong in about 10 or 12 of them. So about a third of the 34 are you powerful in. The rest of them you can do, just not very well. For example, don't ask me to do the taxes. It is not going to be pretty, right? So Gallup's research shows that people excel when they are able to leverage their strengths rather than work on their weaknesses. And this is the assessment that many, many companies use now. Corporations, Fortune 500 companies now, it's all in the government. The DoD uses it. And so what we're wanting to accomplish here is to help people become happier and more productive in all areas of their lives. So let me ask you this. I'm going to do another little exercise, and I want you to say yes in the box. Well, let's see. Put number one. Put a 1 if you talk to people on elevators, airplanes, or in line at the grocery store. Oh, look at all of you. You may be woo, which stands for winning others over. You break ice easily. You are comfortable with strangers. Okay, how many of you, put a 2 in the chat box, if you clean the house or apartment before you can relax? Anybody? This would not be me. This is a talent called discipline or responsibility. I don't have that high. So it just is. How many of you hang your clothes in your closet according to color and size? Suzanne, nope. Maddie does it by color. Okay, how many of you live and die by your list of things to do? Your to-do list. Somebody doesn't even have a closet. Who makes a list of things to do? And you check it off, yeah? You check off your little to-do list every day. Okay, so I have never made it into the grocery store with my list. I just want you to know. Never. And somebody else is the same. So we don't have achiever high. That doesn't mean we don't achieve things. We just do it differently. How many, okay, now this is for those of you high achievers. How many of you even make a list of things to do on weekends or on vacation? Because some of you are super disciplined. How many of you are already planning your next get together, your next retreat, your next something or other? Yes, some of you are. And then how many of you wish you could escape to a deserted island and not have anything to do with people anymore? Me. Okay, is there anybody here who has ever been accused of being too nice? You're just so sweet and too nice. Yeah. See, these are natural giftedness. Anybody in here accused of being too bossy? Susan Cameron, is that you coming
I
in?
laugh at that. And then I was talking to a new brand partner, you guys, who is going to be on this farm that we're having the retreat for. And last night he was like, quit coddling everybody. Because I'm like, well, I want everybody to have a blanket on their chairs because the chairs aren't really that comfortable. He's like, no, they're going to go out in the horse pasture and sit on the ground just like you do with these horses. Like, stop coddling people. I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
think I
right.
have both.
Well, very true. Could be. Anybody here too brainy? Have you been accused of being too smart, too big for your britches, anything like that? Too smart? And then Annette has, Wanda has all the time. Joanna, no. Cynthia, no. No, me either, no. How about who here subscribes to a magazine or a newspaper and reads it cover to cover? Anybody? No. Never. So guess what? There are people out there who do. There are people, what's a newspaper? There are people who out there who do. Okay, so it doesn't have to be in paper. So my husband gets up every morning and he has his list of his list of resources. He goes through every single one of them every day while he's drinking his coffee. And that is a gift. It is a talent. Okay, so these are all indicators of how they're clues to who you are and how you automatically operate. They are also clues to how everybody else operates. And understanding these clues can improve your communication, your understanding of other people and yourself, your relationships, your productivity, and your results. So some of us, here are some clues. Some of us are naturally drawn to be around people, to break the ice, to boldly walk into conversations, to be a conduit for connecting. Others have presence, a natural command of a room, a self-assurance that squares their shoulders and instinctively leads others into safe territory. These are the influencers, the storytellers, the stimulators, the change makers. They act on ideas. They love to race with a competitive spirit, and they maximize opportunities, often jumping right in the moment. They don't think about it. All of their lives, these influencers and promoters have been told to sit down, be still, and to stop talking too much, stop competing with their little brothers, quit being so bossy. Who does that resonate with? Is that you? Not Cynthia, Judy. And I missed somebody up ahead. So you see what I mean? These are definite markers. Demita says, my husband says I am like my mother. Ah, you know what? The apple does not fall far from the tree. You receive these talents from your parents. You get some from your dad and some from your mom, and you have all of them. They develop over your lifetime. That's how you become strong in some. You know, you may have been beaten down in some cases, right, in life. And so you push that talent to the back end because you couldn't live there. And so you became stronger and stronger here. So let me tell you quickly about the strategic thinkers. Guess what they do? They think and they think and they think and they think. And a clue for you, when somebody says to you, well, I need to think about it. They really do. They really need to think about it. It could have absolutely nothing to do with your presentation or what you shared with them. They really need to think. They spend hours learning and searching, maybe for historical context to wrap towards solutions to problems. They're constantly absorbing and analyzing information to provide good data for good decisions. This is my husband. He's a thinker. He thinks all day long, like totally in his head. Right? They are relentless in making sure we have all of our ducks in a row before moving forward towards a decision. And they stretch our thinking with their futuristic visions of what could be. Susan, you have futuristic, yeah?
Yeah.
Futuristic high for you?
Yeah, and strategic's high for me, which I do kind of make decisions fast, but once I get in, I'm always have a plan. Like I always have a plan.
Right. So the issue with futuristic is that you see 5, 10, 20 years into the future. And guess what? We can't see that far. Like we think you fell off a watermelon truck because we can't see that far into the future. You are projecting something so far. So for you,
Frank, do you hear this, Frank? Do you hear this?
$1 million a month, baby. $1 million a month.
Exactly.
right? So when you see somebody who has that deer, you're telling about the future, right? You're projecting that you're casting this beautiful future, and you see that deer in the headlights look. Okay, now you got to come back. You need to come back from 15 years out to 2. Like this is where you know who you're talking to doesn't have futuristic high. And so you know that you have to find out what they want to do in 3 weeks or in 3 months instead of 5 years. 5 years is too far for them, for anybody who doesn't have futuristic, right? So anyway, the people who have, there are, Shannon mentioned ideation, and I have ideation. We have big ideas, big. We have so many ideas, we can't sleep at night. Like it's like ding, 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 ideas, right? But all of our lives, we're told that we're too quiet, or get your nose out of the book, or get your head out of the clouds. Anybody been told that in your life? Yeah. Cynthia, yes. Another Cynthia, yes. Yeah, right, Suzanne? And it's painful when people tell you to get your nose out of the book. All you're doing is trying to live where you are happiest, right? Now, let's talk quickly about the relationship builders. The people, these are people who sense and feel. They are sensors and feelers as they maneuver through the delicate social transaction of life. They boost us with their positivity. They bring in the outliers to be included. They draw people in so that they can nurture and grow. And they're the mentors and the guides who encourage and adapt, who mentor and guide, right? And the ones who seek harmony and a win-win for everyone involved. They don't care what the conflict is. They want everybody to win. And those of you high in competition do not understand that. All right. So these are relators and nurturers who are the glue that binds us together and develops into something greater than the sum of our parts. But all of their lives, these relationship builders have been told that they are too sensitive too giving, or have too much of a bleeding heart? How many of you have felt the pain of that as far back as you remember? Darlene, Suzanne, yes, yes, right? So many of us have heard these negative things about us, right? So finally, the fourth grouping of talents are people who their gifts and talents lead to executing a plan, a program, or an operation. They are the executors. They are the get-her-done people with deadly accuracy. They are tireless, driven, focused, and powerful. They can arrange, create, and restore order. Every T is crossed and every I is dotted. They deliberate and maneuver us past obstacles, and they love systems that create consistency, justice, and fairness for all. These are the implementers of our world, and they take psychological ownership of getting it done. And for the whole of their lives, guess what they've heard? Don't you ever slow down. Or maybe they've been told or accused of putting work ahead of people. Regina is hearing that. Right? Hundreds of books have been written about the negatives of the type A personality. Know anybody like that? Is that you? Right? So you've been accused of that. Demita says she's been accused. You never slow down. Right? Yes, you can redevelop that, Shannon. That's right. So here's the thing, the 34 talent themes, they're called talent themes. They boil down to those 4 categories that I talked about. The influencers who spread the good news, the nurturers who take care of the relationships, the doers who get things done, and the strategic thinkers that see the path and make a plan. So listen, a lot of you have taken the Myers-Briggs or the DISC or the colors, right? So those are the 4 same categories. But what this does is it breaks down how. It's how you do it. So for example, if you are a thinker, a strategic thinker, and you're in that domain, you think, right? But guess what? There are 11 ways that you think. You could think. You either think futuristically or you think about the past. You think strategically or you're bouncing ideas, right? So how it's the missing link. It tells us the how, right? So a couple of examples. I mean, let me hear from y'all. Is this making sense? Is this helping? Yes, 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 yes. If anybody said no, I would be very sad. That would hurt my woo. So here's the thing, like, let's say we're going to try to sell a bottle of shampoo. How can this, Shannon, I'm sorry, I missed that question. Wait, hold on. How can this help us make money and grow teams? I'm getting ready to share that. Exactly. Thanks for asking. All right, let's say we're going to sell a bottle of shampoo. Okay, I got a bottle of shampoo here. I'm going to sell my shampoo. Okay. What would a nurturer, a relationship builder care about when buying shampoo? They're going to care about their relationships. Will this positively affect my relationships? Will this make me and my family happy? That's what they're going to think, right? What would an influencer care about the bottle of shampoo? They want to know what's exciting about it. What can I talk to others about and spread the news? And will this expand my circle of friends? This is what the influencers, can I make money? That's what they want to know, right? What would an executor or a doer want to know about buying a bottle of shampoo? How should I use it? Does it work? How does it work, right? How would a strategic thinker, what would they, how much is it? Exactly. What would a strategic thinker care about when buying a bottle of shampoo? What are the ingredients? How safe is it? Is it effective? What's the long-term impact? So can you see how a single approach to selling will be doomed to fail unless you know who you're talking to and you're giving them the right information for them, right? You have to persuade by communicating in their language. So, you guys have a system, and you want to follow that system, right? You still want to be able to, wherever you are in that system, adapt to your audience. And a lot of you are already doing it, especially those of you who are in leadership and you're at the double backflip rank of the company, right? You're already doing this intuitively. How much better if you did it strategically because you had the data and you knew how to do it, right? So the old here's another question for those of you who've been in corporate America. And how much time do we have? We're running out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a quick
Shannon.
one real quick, just because I think we're getting ready to lose service. But
Yeah.
Susan asked, how do we use this? And I kind of did a little thing in the chat, but I can't type really fast on my phone. One of the biggest ways, and Rhonda, you can, oh, did I lose you? Oh, no.
I'm here.
Okay. One of the biggest ways, Susan, to answer that question, and then Rhonda can expand, but for like our teams, it's really important. Like I have, a couple people on my team that I really want to grow them. I want to grow their business. I want to help them. But for me, and I use this with my clients to coach them, I need to know what their top 5 are. So I speak their language to help motivate them. Right. So if I'm speaking in their bottom language and they're constantly getting offended because I'm, speaking where they're in their bottom, like I have significance high. So when I feel insignificant, I pull back. Or I have competition low. So when people start trying to make me be competitive, I pull back. So I want to speak my individual brand partner's name, strengths to help them be the most successful. So that's where I'm tuning in. So that's where it helps with your team.
Mm-hmm.
See, you would
Outstanding.
never think that, because you would never think that she didn't have competition because she competes in bodybuilding. But that's competition with herself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
Not really with other
and,
people. So somebody like her, you're probably not pushing with ranks. It probably makes her stress out.
and Rhonda said the other day, it is my significance that helps lead me through competition.
Yes.
Needing to be significant. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's not about beating other people. It's not about winning the competition. It's about being significant in that space, right? And that's what motivates you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry to
I
interrupt.
have. That's okay. No interruption. I remember being on a call one time with a coach. This has been 10 years ago, easy. And she kept using language that did not resonate with me. I have responsibility is low for me, but that doesn't mean I'm irresponsible. But what she was she was using those responsibility words and that were just a turnoff for me, So it is absolutely a language, and there are certain words that resonate with you or not, right? Real quick, one other real quick story. How many of you have worked in corporate America and have ever had a performance review? Okay, so isn't this how it goes? You go in, you're meeting with your boss, and they have the paper and they're going, they're getting ready to fill you in, and you get 5 minutes of you are awesome. You just so great with this and so great with that. And then followed by 55 minutes of a beat down. These are the things you need to fix. So we have grown up with this model in our work, in our homes, in our schools. We are trained up to work on our weaknesses. And that is not the secret to life. The secret is to get stronger at what you already do well, right? And so another phrase you've heard, that we need to be well-rounded. No. Tell me, is Tiger Woods well-rounded? No. Think about Michael Phelps. Think about Michael Jordan. You know what he did about 30 years ago? He tried to go from basketball to baseball to golf. It didn't work. It did not work because he was good at only one of these things. Yes, run with your strengths. So the best thing that you can do if you're working in your weaknesses is become mediocre. Doesn't that sound awesome? I can't wait to be a mediocre, said no one ever. So
And
this
it's
is
frustrating.
where, yes,
It's frustrating when you're trying to work in your weaknesses and you don't know what those weaknesses are.
right, exactly. You do know intuitively, right? So anything major that we do in our lives, it is unlikely that we will accomplish greatness all by ourselves. And what we really, to get what we want in life, we really need to understand our strengths, identify our goal, and partner with those whose strengths are complementary, that are different enough from us that we understand, like what Shannon was explaining earlier with her work partner at the spa. It was conflict until they started to understand, and then they could do this. Otherwise, you're doing this. You're like not working at all, right? And so each of us struggles through our own personal journey of awareness of who we are and how we operate. But this assessment can help you determine what you do best. Hang on, we've got questions coming in. Yes, what energized you? What would you do even if you weren't getting paid? Is absolutely a good place to start. What if you have someone with ADD? Okay, so if I can just say, I don't believe ADHD is a real thing personally. I believe that it's ideation and activator working together. Okay, those are people who see the idea and jump right into it. So it's impulse control, right, or a lack thereof. And so it finding ways that he can be gifted, or that person can live in their strengths in a better way. Suzanne says, my competition rears up when it comes to my son, who is a pitcher. Yes, right. You can cheer for somebody else for sure. Shannon says that she can't take comparisons. It shuts her down, right? Because it makes you feel insignificant. So that little significance talent you have gets scratched, and you're like, it doesn't feel good, right? So, jack of all trades, but a master of none. No, I want you to be a master. That is where we are headed. That's what we're looking for. You can work with people who are autistic. The assessment, if you have anyone you're working with like that, Gallup does have a timer that they can turn off. Just reach out to me or to Gallup, and they will let you do that assessment in a different way, right? Not the normal timed way. So anyway, I know that we are about to get moving, but I also know that what you want in life is to help other people in a way that is deep and personally satisfying for you in your work, your home, your faith community, your civic organization. And if you're not getting what you want out of that, then you're not living in your strengths. You're doing something that is draining you, right? So when you understand other people's strengths also, you can improve communication and the quality of your relationship. Yes, you do that. What do you mean you can do that within this company, Regina? I'm not sure I understand the question. So I'm going to close and just be questions. But this is my favorite quote from Irma Bombeck. I don't know if y'all remember her, but this
The
is
meeting
my
starts at 10,
this
but I
is my
wanted to get there at
philosophy.
9:30.
Hang on, you're 9:30. Somebody is
I
chatting.
know.
When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would have not a single bit of talent left and can say, I used everything you gave me. And the only way we can do that is to stop doing the things that are draining us. So that's what this assessment is all about. It is to help you personally and then also help your team. So I'm here now to answer questions. I know you guys are ready to rock and roll.
I love this. So they're going to do their assessment right now, and then they'll do their assessment, and then what the plan is, you guys, is Thursday night, we'll put it on the calendar. Thursday night we're going to have a another meeting with Rhonda from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have a lot of people here at the retreat, and then you can Zoom in. So we'll Zoom in whoever's taken the Strength Finders test. If this appeals to you, if you want to kind of incorporate some of this into your thing. And you guys, Rhonda has worked with multiple 7 figures in network marketing. So she understands our language. She understands these group dynamics. She is more than willing to help us. So we're so grateful for you, Miss Rhonda. And I love that she reacts like me and Susan Frank. She's an activator, and I legit just called or messaged her like, hey, can you jump on in 2 hours? And that is how me and Susan Frank function with everything. It drives so many of y'all crazy, but the ones that it doesn't drive crazy, we roll. Don't we? We roll. This is why
Because
we,
you're alike.
yeah,
Yeah, you're alike.
this is why it
So
works
let me
so
just
good
tell
for
you
us.
quickly, just
Yeah.
really quickly about Thursday. So Thursday, what we're going to do is go over every one of the 34 talent themes. And I'm going to send you a document that you can share also with everybody so that they can keep track of friends and family who act that way or whatever. And then, so because this is not just a one, I've told you, this is not a one and done. You're not going to take this assessment and then not do anything with it, or you can do not anything with it, but it's to your advantage to dig in and study and not worry about what kind of mermaid you are and use this assessment. You're going to be shocked at the reports that they offer. They tell you so much uplifting information about you and give you tips and tricks to grow your natural giftedness. And that's what you want. You want to live in your strengths, not work on your weaknesses anymore. Can I hear amen from all of you about that?
Amen, amen, amen.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so much. And who wants to pray us out of this beautiful, beautiful meeting this morning? Thank you, Rhonda. You're amazing. We're grateful for
My
you.
joy. My joy.
Who would like to pray? Put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling led to pray over us today. Is anybody chatting? Perfect. Who's Zoom user 1? Go ahead and take us out. Or keep us lifted. Not really take us out. Let's see. And Betty Reagan said she would pray. So either one, you guys can unmute and pray us out of here. Betty, I hope you're doing better, honey. I heard you were really sick this week.
Doing great, doing great. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning. We're thanking you for all the blessings and all of the good things that are going to happen to us as we move forward as Partner Co-Partners. And as we go out into the world and show the world that we can help you live a healthier life and also make an income doing it, we appreciate that as well. We are grateful, we're thankful, and we're glad to have each other on this team. We ask that you bless all of us, you keep us safe, and that you help us understand and do your will as you have chosen us to do. These and all blessings we ask in your holy name. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Okay.
Betty.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
you guys
Thanks,
go have
everyone.
a beautiful,
Thank
beautiful
you,
week.
ladies.
Bye-bye.
All
Thank
right,
you so
Susan
much.
Frank, I will call you later. Bye, guys. We'll circle back, Rhonda. Thanks, honey.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Thank
Miss
you.
Wanda. See you guys. Adios. Have a beautiful day.